What's up, everybody? I'm Jordan from the Problematic Posse,
Now I'm Groovy from the Problematic Posse.
and today we're watching Marvel Studios' Moon Knight official trailer for the first time right here, right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to press play. Me and Grant will probably talk a little bit throughout the trailer. We might pause it to give some maybe a deep dive or a more of an analysis on something we've seen in the trailer. So bear with us. Have fun. All right, Grant, you ready?
All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna preface by saying one thing. I'm not a comic book nerd, but Grant is. He has all the comic book knowledge, so you'll get the perspective of somebody who's kind of sort of into comics, loves superhero shit, and you're gonna get an expert on the topic. So here we go.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
What's up, Grant?
Okay, so off real, this is one of the things that I've wanted. First of all, I will say this. The reason why I'm so excited for the series is because Oscar Isaac is playing the main character. And he's a phenomenal actor. And I like the MCU. I like when characters that aren't super known are brought to the light in big movies and big series, things like that. So I'm very excited about that.
Because I know absolutely nothing about Moon Knight. The only things I know about Moon Knight are the funny panels that people post on Twitter, like the one with like the 10 to 20 that's about Spider-Man. That's it. That's all I know about Moon Knight. I know he's supposed to be like an edgy. He's kind of supposed to be like Deadpool in a sense, like the edgy comedy type stuff. But and only that way. And only that way. Don't kill me, comic book fans. Only in like the edgy humor type way is he kind of similar to Deadpool, is what I mean. That's all I know about him. And after real. This trailer is like, so watching this trailer right now, seeing him getting tied to a bed, I have zero clue what's going on. I have zero clue. So ready to go, Grant?
Yeah.
And the kid Cudi playing.
We'll catch you on. You're bloody useless, Stevie.
Stephen,
You British?
I can't tell the difference between life and dreams.
Thank you.
Lost the contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, what you got, Grant?
One thing I will say about this trailer is I love how they cut and mixed up Kid Cudi's day and night on this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really fitting for his character, and just the whole thing being Moon Knight and then like day and night. I think that's pretty cool. So good job on that, Marvel.
I'm mad that I didn't even know that till then. I just thought they picked it just because it sounds good. Moon Knight.
It does
Day
sound
and
good,
Night.
but I kind of know
It does, but then like Moon Knight, Day and Night. I mean, it went up my head.
All right, you can
Life. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark? It must be very difficult. The voice in your head. Shut up! There's chaos in you. Embrace the chaos.
That's coming out in March? Wait, is this a series? Grant, is this a series?
Yes, this is a series. This not a movie. And one thing I want to say is, first of all, this man's suit looks phenomenal.
It does.
For one. And then second thing is that from the people that don't know about Moon Knight, it kind of gives a good preview of what Moon Knight is like. For instance, like how he kind of every time he wakes up or every time he like snaps into like kind of snaps back into reality, it's like he for like he doesn't know where he is or what happened, things like that. So
Mhm.
it kind of gives like a good like foreshadowing on what to expect. Like, hey, this gonna be crazy. So
And is that why like the one was like, why he was like, why'd you call me Mark? Because is that supposed to be like Moon Knight's actual name? Like I'm kind of confused. Like I said, I know nothing about Moon Knight.
I don't know too. Like I'm not super deep dive about Moon Knight. However, I will say is that I have to read back. I have to read back up on the origins, but
Let me say, dare I say this, Grant? This does not feel like this did not feel like a superhero movie trailer from watching it.
you kind of right.
You get that kind of same vibe. Like watching
You
it,
kind
I wouldn't have known that was a superhero movie if I didn't know who Moon Knight was or that he was a part of the Marvel universe. I was like, this is a pretty cool, seemed like psychological thriller with a bit of horror thrown in there.
you're kind of right. And then because like once again with a lot of the characters with the MCU that what I like for the MCU to do is to bring in characters that are like lesser known.
Mhm.
Like I'm talking about like maybe lower than B, like a little bit B tier lower
Yeah.
in terms of popularity, and then bring them to light. So I mean I can understand that from your like from your viewpoint that you're saying oh, you don't really look like it's a superhero movie. Like I
Yeah,
get
because
that.
he isn't doing anything heroic. I just see a guy who seems to be hearing voices in his head, and he transforms into like this shadowy figure, and he's beating up a monster. So like, and just watching the trailer, would not guess this is a superhero movie. And I'm not saying this is a slight to this trailer, a slight to Moon Knight, or a slight to the franchise. I'm saying the fact that I think this movie is going to bring some elements that we don't normally see in an MCU film. It's going to be I think it's already been advertised as being a lot more darker and a lot more intense than stereotypical MCU content. So just watching the trailer, it gives off that like there's like usually watch MCU trailers. I think like people were talking about what's the most recent movie that came out, like Spider-Man, No Way Home. People were talking about.
First off, I want to say this is going to be a series.
So but I was going to point out in the Spider-Man trailer, people were like saying, "Why is Doctor Strange being funny and all this stuff?" Like MCU usually incorporates a bunch of humor and jokes and stuff into their content. So like watching this trailer, it seemed a lot less jovial and a lot more serious, even though there was a bit of funny part with the old woman coming inside the elevator. But ultimately, like this seemed like it has just a different tone. Like the trailer gave me a different tone than previous Marvel trailers I've seen.
For origin, for like something that's going like we're going to see the origins of a character, I can expect that. I don't really want there to be a bunch of like comedy straight off. And the second thing about Doctor Strange is that for some reason a lot of people get this perception about him that he's supposed to be super serious when he's actually his whole character is to be cocky.
But no, but I just meant like usually like all MCU fans have a bunch of humor and jokes and stuff in it. I was just saying that like this trailer didn't give off that vibe.
Yeah, I understand how you feel about that. Like I just personally I don't have a problem with them incorporating humor.
No.
It's just when the humor is in the wrong place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't want like y'all joking around when it's like when y'all in the middle of one of the biggest fights in the world. Like
it's DEFCON 9.
I get that. What'd you say?
When I say when it's DEFCON 9, you don't want nobody joking. But like
yeah, exactly.
Grant, how do you feel about this series being the introduction to Moon Knight, and meaning that I think this might be the first time we're being introduced to a Marvel hero into the MCU via a series and not an introductory movie? How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's one of the things that I've been wanting Marvel to do. Because with I'm not sure how I would say this. I wanted Marvel to outside of origin films, I still want them to do deep dives into characters. Like for instance, like
which we kind of got with Hawkeye. We kind of got that with WandaVision. like we kind of got that with Loki. We've got where they've kind of given us some more background on these characters, or even like further their stories a little bit more, kind of like same thing with what
Like
with Captain,
the biggest
Captain America.
like my biggest issue with the MCU was after origin films, a lot of times after they focus on the like after origin films, and then like the next film they be focusing on a bit bad, and you don't really get to do a deep dive into like a character. I don't see them like character development, things like that. That's one of the things I want the MCU to work on.
Yeah.
So these Disney series that are coming out, I hope they can bring a segue into that, saying, hey, we're not getting a character development that we want in movies. Maybe we can alternate, or maybe we can get a character development in the series, and then like in the movie, you'd be like, okay, we don't have to worry about that as much. I don't want just one side to just be completely neglected. So that's one of the issues that I personally have with the MCU. And I feel like Moon Knight can do this.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really dope that he's getting a series. 'Cause like you said, like it's so hard to tell someone's story in an hour and 30 minutes. So I think I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but I expect maybe like at least 6 at the very least, which is like if it's 30 minutes, 6, it's 30-minute episodes, 6 episodes at the very least. That's far longer than movie content. So they'll be able to really flesh out who Moon Knight is and really give an audience who never seen this character before a good introduction. Like they're like, okay, I know everything about Moon Knight's origin now from these 6 episodes, where if it was a movie, they'd have to like probably cut out some pieces and give us a skeleton's work of backstory for him. And then we never would get more backstory on him because he would just be thrown into a big MCU film with a whole bunch of other MCU characters. So I'm excited about the series. But we've watched the trailer. We're giving our thoughts. Grant, you got any closing thoughts?
One thing I did want to say is if I remember correctly, this is, I don't know what series are dropping between now and Doctor Strange 2, but there is a void to be. There's kind of, if I'm remembering, that's the next big blockbuster film that's going to be coming out from the MCU. So they'll need some stuff between then on Disney Plus to go ahead and bridge that gap.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I will say. Say it's kind of imperative that Moon Knight hits. Not the fact like, of course it's Disney, it's MCU, it's gonna sell. Like, but I'm talking about from like a quality standpoint. They're gonna
critical
need
standpoint. Because then it won't be. There's nothing following Moon Knight going into the next big thing. So this will be the last thing in people's mouths going into the next big movie.
And then Doctor Strange 2 is supposed to be, if like Doctor Strange 2 could potentially be probably one of the bigger films in terms of setting up the rest of the, like a lot of the MCU for a very long time. So we have to say about that too.
Okay. All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in to another installment of me and Grant reviewing / reacting to things. If you enjoyed this, like it, leave us comments, let us know how we did. You can hit us up on Twitter. You know where to find Groovy. You know where to find me on Twitter at JWAP6. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all stay easy, stay problematic.